And we're back for game, or not game, I should say, Series 2 of the day between Dashing Buffalo, the new name of Fongwu Buffalo previously, and the new team in the league, QTV. I'm once again your colorcaster for today and the days to come as well, Yulwei, and alongside me is my new co-caster doing the play-by-play. It's Everyday.
G'day, man. How are we feeling going into the second series?
Well, it was a very short break only, but I think we're ready for the favorites to come in once again. I'm very hyped to see what Buffalo will do without their top laner. Are they still the best
Yeah,
team in the league?
yeah. I think after their MSI performance, I think should be a lot of eyes on. You'd think they obviously, could have gone further in MSI, but I think they performed well.
Yeah, the
I think they
only
showed.
the team that beat
Go.
G2 two times in group stage, the best team in the world.
I mean,
So
yeah, G2 is the best team in the world. Fongbu Buffalo beat them. Dashing Buffalo now beat them twice. I'm not saying that Dashing Buffalo is the best team in the world, but statistics.
speak for themselves. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. You beat the best team in the world, you're the best team, right?
Yeah, on the other side, we have another interesting team in QTV. Not a whole lot to say about those guys until we see them play, actually. They were the first team to come into the summer split through the promotion, qualifying before FTV even. FTV we just saw play in the last best of three. Showed a very good game one, and then fell off a bit in the games after that. So what's QTV able to show today? This team has a very hard schedule ahead of them. Obviously, starting with Buffaloes is not the best way to start your VCS campaign. On the other side, if they are able to get the win today, looks very good for them.
I think it's certainly a trial by fire coming in and playing against pretty much the undisputed best team in the league. But that said, it's also a chance to test yourself really properly, right? Like, you can play your game and you'll be able to see what works and what doesn't, and you'll know that if something does work, it works against the best in the league, right? So I think it's a very valuable experience.
Yeah,
And I mean, if they win, poor boy.
yeah, that gets the hype train started right there. I think especially in bot and mid lane, this will be a very good test for QTV to see if their laning actually holds up to the best in the league. Null and Big maybe the best laners in their position. And they showed that they are actually competitive, especially for the first 20 minutes in the game against the best teams in the world. Their mid and late game still very questionable. I was still showing a bit of the typical wildcard tendencies there, but their early game is really no laughing matter. So if QTV is able to come out of this game after 20 minutes, even or even ahead, they might be a very good team for summer. And they need
Certainly.
to somehow survive the pressure coming out of Meliodas and all the other members of Dashing Buffalo.
Yeah, and I mean that's certainly no small task. It's a lot of pressure coming out, but I mean, you've got to beg the question: if you're the statistically or expected worse team, I think there's an argument to say you don't necessarily just want to absorb the pressure that Dashing Buffalo is going to put out. I think you want to get back, you want to go in swinging as well.
Yeah, of
Surely, try and
course.
catch them off guard. I think one thing that plays in their favor is Dashing Buffalo knows that they should win. But here we are into Champ Select.
Oh,
Lux
immediately.
immediately banned. I like it.
Already very different draft. Only seeing one ban, it's already completely different to the last series. So this time,
Yeah.
support focus, very warranted, I think. Palette, one of the best supports in the region. I think you have to say the best support, so already picking away some of his strong picks probably for this patch.
Oh wow. That's the Karma ban as well, really taking away that sort of enchanter shield pool. Nico as well. This is very different already. is very different to our last
And
series.
Zaya ban. So this series seems to be the next step from the last series in terms of bans. We saw a lot of strong Zaya performances in the first series, and we saw a lot of Deco priority. Now these two champs are already banned away, and we have to look at the two solo laners that were always banned away in the first series. Oh, and one of the two at least will be open: Irelia and Aatrox. Who
Yeah, I think this is smart from QTV to ban the Yumi because they get their first pick. So they get if Dashing Buffalo chooses to ban Irelia or Aatrox, which I actually think in this situation you don't do. I think you just
Yeah, you ban Sejuani here, I think. Oh, it's
or
Cannon.
Cannon.
What is that? Why would you ban
Well,
Cannon there?
they might want to leave. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Sejuani. I think
immediate
that would be
Sejuani
the
first
better
pick.
ban.
This is
Immediate.
LCK matter showing through, I think. Sejuani really high priority over there in Korea and now picked up by QTV. Insanely high statistical appearance rates on Sejuani. She's been in 91% of games on 9.11 and she has not been nerfed. So 9.12 looking very good for this jungler once again.
Yeah, insanely strong player. Aatrox has been locked in, but the question is, what do we see second here? We could see an Irelia pick or a Sona.
We have not seen a
Ooh,
single Sona hover in the first series. I thought Vietnam might not be ready for a Sona or have not practiced Sona, but obviously Buffalo have attended MSI and they got confronted with some of the best Sona Tarek teams. So now Dashing Buffalo brings over the Sona to the Vietnamese region as well. I'm
it
very
does allow the
excited to
Irelia
see.
pick, potentially.
Yeah, and the Aurelia is a very good pick into Aatrox. One of the reasons you never see one of the two open, because the team that leaves open one of the two will just lose the respective pick, and
Yep.
then, yeah, Aatrox does
Ooh.
not do too well into Aurelia in the top lane.
Callista taken.
Kalista
That's
into
interesting.
Sonar, so very lane heavy approach here from QTV. I think we saw the Kalista from QTV in the promotion tournament as well. Jisoo usually going for very lane dominant champions, and Lucian and Kalista are his two most played from the promotion tournament. So not that big of a surprise, seeing as his champion pool usually works out. But Kalista against Sona is a very obvious win condition already set up. If Kalista is not ahead by 20 minutes, the game is pretty much over because Sona will just outscale her 3 and 4 fold. I think Sona is such a strong champ in the later stages of the game.
I think there is a little bit of a danger here for Dashing Buffalo. What happens if QTV bans Tarek Time Kench?
That's actually a very good point. I don't know if I
Um,
like this jungle pickup. I think there are a lot of strong junglers available, so no real reason to pick up the jungle right now.
especially, yeah, exactly. Especially because it's not contested, because obviously QTV already has that Sejuani.
Yeah.
Um, I don't, I don't necessarily know if it's always right to just double ban out Sona's partner, but the Time Kench is already banned, which I really do like
And why would you
because I
not
think,
ban out the supports here? There's really no reason to not.
yeah, and I mean this is just 3 support bans already. Um, Dashing Buffalo,
Oh,
oh,
they actually leave open
Zoe,
the Taric.
that's an interesting decision.
That's a really interesting decision. Which supports are still open for QTV to punish the Taric Sona? Lux
Uh,
is banned.
Pike,
Yuumi is banned.
Pike,
Pike can be a
Pike is
possibility.
open.
Yeah. I think Pike is a very good call. I did not think of Pike.
Nautilus as
Nautilus is
well.
also
I
open.
didn't think of
I have
Nautilus.
Yeah, this lane is still a very explosive one and can definitely look for 2v2 kills, especially against the Taric. Maybe they wanted to force Dashing Buffalo actually on the Taric instead of the Tom Kench, so banning away the Kench to give over the Taric deliberately and look for a very good 2v2 counter. Interesting approach here from QTV. We'll have to see if it pays off for them.
Yeah, it's you can say. I mean, that's a deadly lane though in the bot lane, like at 6.
Yeah.
Callista Nautilus is terrifying. if this Camille gets locked in, this is just a death ball.
Wow, this composition is very LCK style, I think. It's the typical Camille and Sejuani pairing in the mid lane with an Aurelia in the top lane as well, coming in for team fights and split pushing. And we have a strong laning duo in the bot lane that tries to punish Sonateric down there.
Yep.
I think we see the most LCK draft so far out of the 4 games we have seen. And on the other side, last pick Akali into the Camille. That's a bit of a curious choice for me.
I suppose I don't really know how that matchup goes. I haven't seen too much Camille recently, so I'm not 100% sure how she goes into Akali, but I mean, they're not going to go into each other at all. It's a
Yeah.
mid lane Akali, which I think is probably better.
And I think this Akali is probably picked up to not get killed in the mid lane. Of course, Camille and Sejuani are such a good duo at killing the enemy mid laner. And Akali is very hard to kill in her Shroud, so yeah, just a very safe pick with scaling potential. Null, kind of known for his safe approach to the game, very strong laner, usually averaging about 11 CS at 15 head of the enemy laner. And even on the higher competition in MSI, he was still fine in lane. So overall, Null is a bit of a test for the mid laner of QTV here in the first game. Can he actually stand up to the best laning Vietnamese mid laner in the league?
I think this is a very interesting draft in that QTV has brought the fight.
Yeah.
Like, I think the impetus is on them to really take the game, take the buffalo by the horns.
Absolutely. And I love this approach.
Which I like. I like that it's confident. If they were if they came into this match like quite nervous and quite scared because you're going up against such a good team, you wouldn't really be able to blame them. But this draft doesn't tell me that. This draft says we're here to win.
Yeah, and I really like this from especially bottom tier teams, because picking up a very clear win condition, picking up a good game plan you can execute on. You practice this comp probably. You know what its strong points are. As we already see a very interesting change, I did not anticipate. The Camille goes top and the Aurelia goes mid. What are the reasons for this? I think both matchups are better the other way around. So it's very curious
what do you
to me.
think?
I think
I really admit that was.
Yeah, I think Camille mid is the more usual pairing with the Sejuani I saw at least, especially in LCK. And I think the Aurelia is a very good pick into Aatrox. Not quite sure about the Camille Aatrox matchup. Might still be heavily in Camille's favor, but Aurelia is one of the true counter picks to Aatrox later on in the game. So not too sure about QTV's lane setup here.
It's certainly interesting. I think with the Camille running that Grasp of the Undying, I think she should win lane pretty hard.
Another interesting adaptation, because usually Camille's want to dominate lane go for Comet to sync up with their W. So another thing I have not seen too often on the Camille here. So we'll have to see how Nevan approaches this game. I think he's one of the most pivotal players on this team on QTV. When I watched a few of their games from the promotion, I thought his performance was very strong on the top lane carries. Most of the time, late game top lane carries played by him a bit of Kayle, a lot of Gangplank. This time more split push focused compared to his team fight late game top lane carries.
Yeah, I think it's also worth noting that Null is running Electrocute in the mid lane instead of the safer Fleet Footwork that we sometimes see.
Or even Conqueror.
True. I think he recognizes that he can't. I think fairly obviously that tells us that he doesn't want to be in extended skirmishes.
Yeah.
Just wants to get in and out, proc the Electrocute. I think that's a good decision.
I think that's a bit of a trend I've observed with laners who have to lane into Aurelia, especially things like Renekton, who usually go with Conqueror as well, like to deviate away from Conqueror because they know even if their Conqueror gets stacked, they have no chance in winning a long trade against Aurelia. But hold the thought, we already see a bit of a ganking setup here. Olaf looks for a
Yep.
dive on Rezo.
Nevin's dead.
Oh, Nevin, I mean.
Nevin, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, there's no way to.
Ooh, actually, hookshot.
Good hook shot, but
Hookshot.
Meliodas should have his
Slow.
axe available.
Flash. No, he's gone. No, he's out. I don't like that TP, though.
Very
Unless they're
defensive
just
TV.
swapping lane. He could be swapping lane.
Did he have to TP there to save his top laner? I don't think
No.
so. I tend to agree with you. I think his top lane was already fine there. So a bit of a panic call coming out. I'm not sure for whom. Maybe it was the top laner still calling for help and the mid laner reluctantly going for a bit fell.
Gets knocked up, goes into the shroud, but
That's the problem there. Ganking Akali is not fun. Not a whole lot of success being found there. Good reset timing now for Null because he got the free PvE lane against the enemy and also has a CP available to him, which he will not use. So a big advantage for Null on the mid lane. We'll have to see if he can capitalize on this. But on the top lane, Nivon is able to accrue a bit of a CS lead against the new top laner for Dashing Buffalo. I'm not sure if did we already touch on this new addition to the Buffaloes?
No, I don't think we've mentioned it.
Yeah, so obviously one of the biggest changes for the #1 team here in Vietnam. Their star top laner Zeros going back to Gigabyte Marines and grouping up with the star jungler Levy there. So now they had to slot in a new top laner, and Rezo is 70 years old. They have another trainee on their team, not eligible to play yet. He will turn 17 in July, late July, I think. So two very young top laners who have no experience competitively. We'll have to see how they fare against the competition in the VCS.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty rough here for Rezo. Despite Nevin being forced back early, he's very much in control of the lane.
To be fair to Rezo, it's a hard matchup for the for his champion there.
Absolutely. Really surprised in that gang that Nevin didn't even flash. Like hookshot's great, but you would have felt like he would have had to flash at least. He was very pushed up when Meliodas entered the lane.
Not a single summoner expanded there. I think there was also a bit of an opportunity for Dashing Buffalo.
Ooh, here comes a level 6 all in. Aurelia's gone in. That's first blood there for QG. Just kills Meliodas.
Once again, Olaf does not get off to a good start. We saw Olaf doing absolutely nothing in the last game between FTV and EVOS there. I think it was the second game, I'm sorry. And now, once again, Olaf wasting his flash, going down for first blood. Secured, luckily for him, not by the enemy mid laner, but by the Sejuani there. But still, first blood going over to QTV. Off to a very good start.
Yeah, I think Genya will be a little bit steamed that he didn't get the kill there. I think he did a lot of the work, but that's okay. Still gets the assist.
It's the first blood assist, so 200 gold. It's not the worst either. Look at this again.
That was an interesting stun too.
Yeah.
There was some interesting plays in there, but in the end, it was just Olaf is quite squishy early. A level 4 Olaf kind of just dies.
I was not aware that he can get slowed 2 times from the ult from Aurelia. It really looked like he got slowed double slowed there. Once when he tried to enter through the top side, and then once again when he flashed right on top of the other side of the ultimate. So not sure if that was actually the case, but it looked like he got slowed 2 times. So a different interaction compared to the Thresh box, where you can only get slowed once, whatever side you enter or exit through.
Yeah. One thing to look at, though, as we do look down at this bot lane, it's actually very even. If anything, it's actually Dashing Buffalo winning.
Insanely good laning phase for Sonateric here.
that's not good.
No, not a good sign for
That's
QTV.
pretty unforgivable. That lane is meant to lose.
Especially with Tarek.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they're going even or winning, that's a bad time.
Yeah, and Tarek will be very strong in the mid game. He's sitting at 70 CS almost, which is higher than he would ever go on the support game, in the usual Tarek support game. So he is more CS than the enemy ADC, which is, as you just alluded to, that's really not acceptable. And now QTV wants to punish the bot lane, or do they?
Oh, I think they're just going to take Dragon because they didn't. I don't think they had any idea where Meliodas was. They'll spot him in a second.
Yeah, big problem for Dashing Buffalo right now is that their jungler is absolutely useless and has to cede all control over River to the enemy jungle.
Yeah.
At least he has hit level 6 now. I would like him to gank a top lane another time. I think there's a kill possible there.
There the ult goes straight onto Big Koro. Can they kill him before this Tarek ult lands? No, they can't. But Palette's going to get locked up. Tarek ult ends, he's gone.
Yeah, Palette way too aggressive there. I'm not sure what he thought would happen in that play. Why not back off with your 2.5 seconds of invulnerability? Had his flash available as well. I think he could have gotten out of there.
Yeah, I think the logic was that he wanted Big Koro to survive because that's who the Sejuani ult hit.
Yeah.
And he was sort of just playing the martyr, but at that point, I don't think he had died. Like
his Sona had already flashed out and was under turret, so I don't think there was the biggest kill threat on her anymore. So just try to save your own life. Don't give up a free kill over to the ADC you actually kept down very successfully. Now has been accelerated a bit. Look at his item choices.
Straight into Executioners.
Yeah, just the straight up finishing Executioner's calling into double heal lane in Sona Tarek. Sona has finally now finished the support item herself and is not opting into an early tier, wants to go for better lane control and stronger trading with the immediate pickup on the Lost Chapter there. Interesting choice. I've never seen a Sona delay her tier this long.
Yeah, it's very interesting. She does stack it up very quickly once she gets it.
That's very true. But she also relies a lot on the power spike she gets. So delaying the power spike is not that great.
No, and Nevin getting, speaking of spiked, his health just got spiked into the ground there by our good friend Aatrox. As Raizo, I'm not sure how that trade started, but he definitely won it.
I would suggest, I would suppose that Nivon wanted to back and got cancelled there, and then Razor had the upper hand in the trade as Nivon probably was not ready to trade. I can't imagine Aatrox winning the trade straight up at this item breakpoint.
No, I think that would be very unlikely, but it looks like Seal will pick up the Herald here if it's not contested by Meliodas. Meliodas, you don't want to contest this, mate.
No.
Just give it up. That's not two people you want to mess with at the moment.
Let your bot lane carry you this game. Oh, Meliodas, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, the TP, but Nevin's here as well. He gets it. Yeah, just bad smite from Seal, I guess.
Yeah, they get out. Everyone committed to the fight, but nothing happened.
Seal's a higher level. He should have.
Yeah, big mistake there by the rookie jungler on the side of QTV. And this game, even though it looks very even against the best team in Vietnam, is not that great.
Been baited in. Can he pick up a kill to get that ult?
Double flash.
Double flash forward. They want him. They want blood, and they're not going to get it.
He's still alive? What?
He's going to get the double. He doubles.
Wow.
100%. The double kill. Solo 1v2. This is why we ban Aatrox.
And
this is why we put him away. Oh, God.
That's so no one saw that. That was a bit of a sneaky there. But yeah, what better could you ever wish for as DBL? You had the best top lane in the region by far, and you get a new rookie there with no games under his belt, and he immediately double kills in the first game on stage. Now we'll probably
Yeah.
die due to overextension there.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is going to be the answer back. You can see the amount of healing he was just doing, by
Bit of
the
a
way.
victory lap there.
Yeah, sort
Whatever.
of just.
It's really just whatever. He got 3 platings.
Yeah, I think that's he's not too worried about that one. I did like that the kill was given over to Nevin. I think
Yeah.
that was very smart. But yeah, this play is ridiculous. Very aggressive by Genya and Nevin to both flash forward. Pretty sure that they could
How
win
were they
this one.
not able to get the kill? Double flash comes in. Ooh, W does not hit
Just too
from
much
Genja.
healing. Boom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
Nevin
tower
had to.
shot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tower shot, and
Nevin.
then he gets that ult extension, and you're gone, Genya.
Look at
No
the
cheers.
healing. Look at the healing. It's
Full health.
insane. It's
Why
already.
not? Double kill, full health.
And
Wow.
he has not even built anything yet. When the Death Dance will come in, we will see numbers far above those there. I think he healed for 200 with 1 auto attack right against the Aurelia in the end. So yeah, this Aatrox looking very strong, and I'm not seeing Nevin winning this 1v1 anymore, especially because he's not even finished his first item. He's in fact very far off this first item for him. This game already looks in firm control for DBL. They have the late game scaling comp. They've picked Sonateric, and Sonateric has won their lane, or at least gone even in lane, against an explicitly lane-focused enemy bot lane. So
yeah, I mean, there are still outs here for QG. Oh, and speaking of which, Pallet gets hooked, but it's not going to matter because here comes Meliodas. But the reinforcement, see, does he have ult? He does. They could choose to go in, but
there's still the Taric
knowing
ult
that the Taric
available.
ult-
Yeah.
knowing the Taric ult's up would have been a bad engage. But as I was saying, there are still outs. Like, you do have a Callista, so you've got pretty ridiculous objective control if you're at least close, right? If you can play around a Baron when you're like, as long as the game's close, and
Yeah.
it's it's one of those situations where the Baron's pretty much unstealable. Callista ult used to get Naught out of a very bad situation. That Taric ult was used
Bit preemptively, yeah, I agree.
preemptively, and Null a bit far forward.
And Null, another one of those Akalis who just wants to have fun. He knows that he's not that pivotal to the game. His top and bot lane will take care of the win, probably. So he just looks for a very cool outplays on the Akali. Still ahead quite a bit in farm. He's actually sitting on a bounty for himself. Nicely played there.
Yeah. And Genya's dead. Just caught between 3 people.
Nice little adaptation from DBL. Really just a cute little play in between waves without that big of implications. But why not take the kill there? It was pretty much free. And they get 1 kill on their struggling jungler.
Exactly. You want to get that Olaf back in the game if you can, because that's something that will get weak as the game goes on if he's behind. But, I mean, at this point, he might be a little bit behind, but his team's ahead. He's got a very strong Aatrox, has a Sona turret that's only going to get better, even if they are weaker at the moment.
It was actually a flash Q engage. Wait, when did this happen? I'm not quite sure where we are right now.
That was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
It was a good crescendo that we saw in there.
Yeah.
Did hit 3.
Very nice defensive play from Bikoro and Palat, who lacked Taric ult. So usually if Taric ult is down, the Sona will immediately die. But this time she got out and didn't even have to use the flash. But this looks very bad for her.
But speaking of which, the Taric ult was down and Sona immediately died. And Pallet will be following as well. Please give the kill to your Callista.
Yeah, this is very easy to get on Callista. Yeah.
Very good. I'm proud of the restraint that Zodiac and Seal had there. Make sure the gold goes to the right place.
Yeah.
But this is looking really good for Dashing Buffalo. Null has won mid quite convincingly. Irelia has really not looked very good this game.
No. I still don't understand the lane allocation, and there will be a play coming in.
That's a little bit far forward.
Bikoro's here as well.
Doesn't matter. Bikoro's here as well. I only saw one TP.
Yeah, Bikoro sneaked in there.
Not that far. Not nearly as overzealous as I was saying it was. If there's 2 of you.
Yeah, and Reizo is
And
feeling this game. You can see he's playing with
oh,
insane confidence here on this first game on stage.
what a debut! What a debut!
Yeah, really, really
Absolutely,
nicely done.
absolutely popping off. It will be a tower trade here, and it should be QG getting. Is that first tower? No,
No,
it
no,
wasn't.
it wasn't even first tower,
Top
so
top fell, top fell a while ago. But it is 1-for-1. But the 2 kills make it a very easy win for the Dashing Buffalo. We do have to think about ways back in for QG because this is looking very bad for them. The fact that Asona Tarek's ahead
yeah.
is bad, but Callista can do a lot of damage in fights if she gets her runins.
Yeah, and Callista is not the worst champ to play against Tarek Gold, because you can continue stacking up the rent stacks before renting.
That was
So,
such a sneak.
wow, look at the damage there. Jisoo immediately dies. Once again, we see a
Yeah.
wasted stopwatch. I really don't like to see those very important cooldowns wasted, especially not on the ADC, who is not going to build the Zhonyas. So now Jisoo is sitting there without a stopwatch available. Next teamfight will be very hard to play for them against Sona and Tarek sitting on everything but flashes. So not
Yeah,
looking too
I
bright there for QTV.
I think there's we saw the executioner's calling coming in early, and I don't think we put too much thought into it. Is it actually that good super early?
Mm.
Like, it's good. You should build it against Sonatari, but
Oh.
never mind. As Big Koro gets caught out, can they kill him before
Nope.
the sun lands? No, they can't. He's just going to get away.
But
Get a
Nivan
little bit
is
of
here.
healing. Never mind, Nevin's going to get in. And the Nautilus ult on Ryzo should mean this fight ends unless Neven decides not to. Never
Ryzo.
mind! Ryzo goes in. He's not going to get an assist, though, and he does go down.
Okay, he's really channeling his inner Zeros there. Zeros would have done
Yeah.
the same, so good replacement found by Dashing Buffaloes. Not the best situation to channel your inner Zeros. And now
Ooh, the
QTV,
fight continues. Nor gets caught, but he's in the shroud, so they can't really follow up.
such an annoying
And
champ to play against, just goes out again.
Yep. Everyone loves a Carly. But back to go back to what I was previously saying before that random skirmish broke out. Executioner's calling is great against Sonataric, but is it great early in lane? They don't heal that much
No,
early.
I have to agree. I think going for the early Executioner's Calling actually hurt them in the laning, because it's just 10 AD if I remember correctly, maybe 15, not quite sure. 10 or 15 AD will not do too much for you. And he delayed his 1.5 item, if you count the boots, power spike a lot by buying this early Executioner's Calling. So, yeah, I have to agree with you. I think the Tarek now sitting at 124 CS, look at that, is kind of indicative that this plan has not worked out. And he's going for Frozen Heart, right? Yeah, those items are what you have to build for Frozen Heart. So Frozen Heart, Tarek, normally we see Abyssal Mask, but this is an enemy team with a lot of AD threats, so Abyssal Mask doesn't...
Yeah, Abyssal Mask would be a mistake.
Yeah. I like this adaptation a lot. It was pointed out earlier in chat. Yeah, chat, I'm keeping a close eye to what you're writing as well. But yeah, this time I kind of agree with Palette's choice here, going for Frozen Heart. He will be insanely tanky in the team fights later on with 100 or 90 armor added with just one item. And yeah, we'll have to see how that works out against Nivan, Genya, and Jisoo on AD champions. And all three of those champions are even kind of reliant on AS as well, on attack speed, especially Aurelia and obviously the Callista.
Yeah, I mean, Callista can probably get away with not directly targeting him, at least.
It's still an aura, right? You don't have to target him. I think it's
right,
an aura.
It is an aura. It's not a thorns. You're right. I completely misremembered how Frozen Heart works. I know what I'm talking about. Don't worry. You are right. Yeah, so I think Frozen Heart is a great buy. I mean, we could even see a Randomins come in if he really wants to commit.
Yeah, and we have entered a bit of a lull state, as they call it on the LCK broadcast. Not a whole lot is happening right now. QTV needs to look for more plays.
Isn't that just what they call the LCK broadcast?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I love the LCK. Sorry, continue.
It's all right. As I said, we are in the lull state, so it's not a whole lot happening here. So we can dive a bit on other topics if we want to, like the LCK broadcast, which is great.
Yeah, I do like the LCK. I wish SKT was playing better. It hurts me to see Faker languish. Um, but
Everything will end someday, right? So I think maybe
yeah,
Faker's time has come.
yeah, it's just
What is he playing
wonder
for
what would
anyway?
happen.
He has won 3 world championships, so many I think 7 LCK titles or something like that. So
I mean,
MSI, everything.
it would take a pretty astronomical player coming onto the scene to anyone to ever dispute that Faker's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been nearly as dominant as he has. Focusing back in on this game, which Faker unfortunately isn't in. How does QG get back in this? They actually do have a gold lead for the record.
Yeah.
They're not behind in gold. They're not. We're talking as if this game is dead and done. We're talking about as if this game's dead and done. I don't think it's quite over. But when you see a Soda Tarek comp 400 gold behind at 24 minutes,
yeah, it's not looking great for the enemy team. Yeah.
Tarek.
So they have to rely on mistakes a bit. They need to proactively look for flanks on the Sona, I think. Maybe even on the Tarek. Sometimes it's better to kill the Tarek, but looking at his items, he's hard to kill, so that might not be the right approach. And they have a lot of explosive CC. They have the Nautilus, the champ with the most CC in the whole game, paired up with Kalista, even more CC added to his kit. Then we have follow-up from 2 AD assassins with a lot of gap closers, so they can look to insta-burst the Sona. I think that's the only way to win this game, insta-bursting the Sona down and not falling prey to a lot of counter initiation damage coming out of Aatrox. They need to control the vision in the enemy jungle and then look for flanks. I think that's the approach they need to take, and it has to happen the next, I think, 4 or 5 minutes, because when the clock hits 30 minutes and the Sona hits 2 items...
something here. Meliodas gets hooked, but he's not who you want.
No.
He's actually just heard this, and Zodiac...
He's the exact wrong target, actually, for your CC to land.
Pretty much the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And this is smart by Dashing Buffalo. They're just not letting there be picks.
Yeah, they can just ARAM now. It's really a challenge for QTV to show that they can actually play through side lanes, because they can't win this game through ARAMing mid against this team composition. At least they get another Mountain Drake, so now 2 Mountain Drakes, a lot of burn damage. They open up
They have a
with
lot of
man.
burn.
Yeah. That might be the only real way for them to win this game, actually. Sneak a Baron with 2 or 3 members taking the Baron down and utilizing your 2 Mountain Drakes.
I mean, looking at the map, Dashing Buffalo can't see Baron in them.
Yeah, that's very true. But now they will re-establish, yeah. They have 2 side stones we have to keep in mind, so they can actually ward a lot. See one pink and 1 normal ward go down in the Baron pit, so it's already hard for QTV to keep up with the vision lead that Dashing Buffalo will be able to push out.
Very true. Sejuani's getting pretty big here for QG. Has got the Warmogs. I think Warmogs is just so good on Sejuani.
Yeah.
It just lets you go, be a frontline. You pull back for, 10 seconds and you're back at full health, because the Warmog's heart passive is so ridiculous.
She'll now go for a Knight's Vow, I think, so more team fighting focus coming in for the Sejuani. It's still very scary to fight against the Sona Tarek. that being said, Sona's actually not too far ahead. Look at her items. She doesn't have anything significant finished yet. It's just hit the transformation to the Serap's Embrace. So at least she has the shield available now and working on her Lich Bane. But compared to everyone else, she's a bit behind in gold, I think. Only sitting on 130 CS as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. She's only sitting on 130. she obviously is a much lower econ champion than most others, and she's meant to be a sport. But I think you are right in identifying that she's a bit behind. This is the time to fight, surely.
Yeah.
If you're QG, you've got to do something pretty decisive. But Meliodas is just shadowing the Sonataric. It's so hard to find and engage.
Yeah, Dashing Buffalo seems to be aware of this. Oh, another engage attempt, but
Oh,
it's
they're
on
looking for it
Meliodas
though,
once
straight onto
again.
Meliodas.
Meliodas
Taking a
had his
fair bit
ult
of damage.
available. Yeah, there it is.
Get his ult though. He's not going to have that next time. They didn't use anything really.
But they don't get the Taric ult, and all they want to do is force out the Taric ult and force a fight before the Taric ult is back on. And DBL, I think, plays this game insanely well around cooldowns. They have ceded a bit of control over the map, but they have never given up any significant advantage
Ooh,
or
the
any
1v1
significant
here.
cooldown. Ooh,
Oh,
nice
Genya,
dodge.
come on.
Yeah, you can blame Genya for that, but I think it was a bit of a slick dodge as well from Null coming out there. And even if it landed with Null still sitting on ult and flash, I don't see Genya chasing him down there successfully.
Neither do I. Ooh, there's a hook onto Pallet. That's much better
Yeah,
target
Pallet
than
needs to
Meliodas.
ult
He's
now.
actually getting
Oh.
pretty hard. He needs to ult.
But look at his
And they get it. As
tankiness.
soon
He's
as it
so
comes
tanky.
out, they move back. The TPs are used here. Rizo wants to go in. Gets the chains, but it's not going to matter. Spider-Naut gets out of there. Nevin tries to turn it a little bit, but can't really get much done. That's a lot of ults committed there for the Dash Buffalo, and very little, I say very little, it's the Sejuani ult out of QG, but that's really it.
But they have fished for this kind of play for the last 5 minutes, I would say, and they are finally forcing out a few summoners and, more crucially, the Taric ult. There's still flash available on almost everyone on Dashing Buffalo, so even now the teamfight will be hard to play for QTV, especially catching out Big Koro. Still a hard task. But we saw Palette is very tanky, even without utilizing his ultimate. In the end, he was still forced to use it, but yeah, it's hard to kill the Taric. He's almost a full tank right now.
I mean, I think you can catch Big Koro just with Camille, sorry, surely. Hook shot into Hextech Ultimatum, probably gets on top of him pretty consistently. The question is, can you survive? And I'm not sure Nevin can. Has also gone for the Executioner's Calling, though. So they've got 2 sources of Grievous Wound. Much better timed from Nevin, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Now is when you actually want that Executioner's Calling, rather than like 4 minutes in when they're healing for...
I actually think his item build indicates that he wants to sideline from now on. This is not the typical teamfight Camille item build, in my opinion. Not going for Titanic Hydra, rather going for the better 1v1 item in the Ravenous Hydra. And with the Executioner's Calling, explicitly board for the 1v1 matchup against the Aatrox as well. He will now probably have the advantage in the side lane. So I expect QTV to kind of adapt their style. They try to run their heads against the enemy team composition. Were not successful, so now maybe adapting a bit and looking for side lane plays on their 2 strong split pushers.
Yeah, I think that's a very good read. I still think Nevin is going to struggle to kill Ryzen. But they're on the Baron.
Finally.
This goes down quick.
But Taric ult is available.
I don't know if the Scuttle Crab was worth it there, mate. That's a lot of spears not in Baron. Interesting decision.
And they have to call it off. Oh, that's not good. That is a lot of tempo lost for them. A lot of vision lead lost for them as well.
I don't mean to be alarmist, but I think they kill Baron if he doesn't kill that Scuttle Crab.
Nah, it's still a 50-50 because Meliodas has his ult and flash available, so Seal is not actually behind in level, so I think they feared the steal there. And to be honest, this is one of the games I agree with. Yeah, but I think in this game they can't risk the 50-50 because it's immediately lost if they lose the 50-50 play. While they still can try for a later Baron sneak if they reset. So it's not a great game state, but it has not been a great game state for the last 10 minutes for them. So just throwing everything away with a 50-50 Baron there is maybe not the right call for them. More of a slow approach.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nevin wasn't really able to use the time to get anything done. Just sort of pushed a wave in for Aatrox to catch.
And another
They're
Baron
going
start.
back. They're going back onto it. This is a lot of damage. No scuttle crabs to distract anyone.
And
A
they
lot of
spot
spears going in
Meliodas
already.
there. Still on
They
6k
move
health.
back. See, the thing is, I'm not sure if this is a 50-50 because you have
Oh.
Callista.
Yeah,
But there is a tower going down in the bot lane. Pallet gets frozen up.
this is now a very good situation for
Dashing Buffalo
QTV.
now just has. It is if they don't all die.
Yeah, a very good disengage from
Or give
QTV
Baron
here.
up.
And even
This
if they
is
give
really
up
dangerous.
Baron, yeah, they give up
Yeah, they
Baron,
do
but they're
give up
still.
Baron.
Oh no! Why is he teleporting in? That's
They're
really
going
not
in.
the right
They're
call.
going in. They want the kills. That's a bad call. He should have gotten the inhibitor, but they may be able to clean it up here. Rizo's
That
going
doesn't look
really low.
good.
He goes down into the Guardian Angel. Jisu's already got the kill. This is actually happening. This is it. Dashing Buffalo's melting really, really fast. All
Noel
or
gets
nothing.
one kill back.
It doesn't matter though because Rizo didn't get the assist, so nothing happened with his ult. So he's down to Nevin. That's 3 kills there. Baron Buff only on 2. I'm not
Interesting.
sure if that was good instead of just getting the inhib.
I think it turned out way better than it should have turned out for them.
I agree with that.
Why would you challenge
And
for
it's
team
like they just want
fights?
the inhib. They just want the inhib. Look, they're already sending
Yeah,
their
yeah.
team down.
But they are playing now.
They've got 3
They have to play against Baron Wave, so their wave will lose on its own. They have to invest extra resources to push into the Baron Wave. The game is still in a bit of a weird state here for QTV, and they are still not favored to win. I would say. Null comes in.
They have a 4K gold lead, and Zodiac. They don't have a Nautilus.
Yeah, they really have not. Yeah. So
Interesting question to ask here. Was killing that Drake right?
once again, the Dragon kill.
Yeah, it's always the question. And Nevin's dead. You were overstaying, mate. And Genya, I think, is also going to get caught. And I think they're throwing away everything they got out of that Baron pit.
Oh, that's really
a huge
unfortunate.
mistake.
Yeah.
And
Genya will lose his Guardian Angel as well, so it's double kill, really.
Yep. And big stun, but not going to matter. Oof.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to watch, I think. Oh man. So really I think this time
and Rizo is trying to kill Jisoo, but have fun knocking up that.
Oh god, that looks
He's gonna kill him anyway. Not a single Q hit till that last one. And he just kills him. He just bodies him.
Oh, please let me never watch this 1v1 again. That looked so awful.
Please do, Aatrox.
Aatrox didn't do anything and still won. What was that?
Didn't do anything.
And now DBL is actually looking at almost closing out the game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is game. They've got 2 death chambers for 25 seconds.
The last 5 minutes have been awkward.
This
very,
is
very awkward. Big Cora gets
Seal
stunned.
lands a decent ult there, but the Big Cora goes into the ult, so it doesn't really matter. Yep, Nevin goes down. 1-man crescendo was better than the 4-man crescendo in the Baron pit, and that's game. Went from maybe QB's getting back into this to game's over.
Yeah, the decision making behind those the passage of play that led to the game ending was really unique, I think. So the first thing we have to talk about is the Baron contest. They had the split pusher on the inhibitor and would have probably been able to trade inhibitor for Baron, especially looking at Camille being one of the strongest pushing champions in the game. So you can either contest the Baron against a Sonar Taric, but without Taric ult. So that's very important cooldown being down. Or you can trade Baron for Inhibitor. I'm still not quite sure if I like the call they made. It worked out for them. Was very risky.
It would have been much better had they just reset.
Yeah.
Like, they just needed to leave, and instead they just pushed really, really hard, but not together. I thought they were going to commit to the bot lane afterwards, which I thought was actually smart. I was like, oh, that's really clever. You've got 3 kills. Just go. Who cares about the wave? The tower's already dead. Just take me in here.
Yeah.
But it was only 2 of them, and then they had to back off, and then their support was just standing by himself in mid, and their mid laner was standing by themselves in top. and 4 people killed the Nautilus, and then they slowly walked top and killed the mid laner. Like,
This game was
gotta
so different
react.
from our first series. I'm still very surprised how different the meta can be between two series in the same region. We saw Sonateric for the
Yeah.
first time. I'm very sorry to our viewers who just turned in to get a bit of Vietnamese action to just see another Sonateric sleeper game. Yeah, sorry for that. But at least we saw a bit of Camille and Sejuani action. In the end, Dashing Buffalo comes out ahead, not as convincing as I would have liked to see them being, especially their mid and late game still looks iffy. Their top lane had a very great debut. I think his double kill 1v2 was such a good highlight play.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty sick. The
Yeah.
Aatrox 1v2
Later on, his team
really did
fighting was
well.
not too solid, though. I think he made some overextensions there, channeling a bit of his own inner Zeros feeling,
Hey, it's what the fans are expecting. You know,
I guess.
they lost their they lost their star player, so he's just got to do his best to emulate him. But no, you are right. But I mean, those are things he'll work out. You know, he is a rookie.
Very
I think
young
he played well
as well.
overall. Yeah, exactly. I think he played well. QG, despite the fact that the last 5 minutes was pretty much a disaster, did play well,
Yeah.
considering like they're up against the best team in the region. I think most people agree. Um, and they that was respectable.
Yeah, and I
Very
like their
respectable.
their in-game adaptation. They knew they recognized that they couldn't win through 5v5ing, so they sent the Camille into the side lane, built for side laning with Camille. Actually committed to the split push, not quite as much as I would have liked to see. Go for the inhibitor if you start split pushing, but yeah, they at least showed some signs of very good game understanding. So I like to see more of this team. Very new addition to the VCS.
Yeah.
One last question before we hit the little break before the next game starts. Once again, your MVP for this first game, who would it be?
I think it's a hard one. Uh, I'm actually not sure. Null had a good game on the Akali. Um, kind of just quietly having a really strong impact.
Yeah, one very good engage with the first ult stunning two people there
Yeah.
and the one Baron contest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Who would you give it to?
I'm not quite sure. I think the bot lane was better than it should have gone, considering
That's
it was
true.
Sonateric. I'm not sure whom to give the MVP to, though. I kind of
Yeah,
agree. I think Null is the right choice overall. The whole team played a good game. Meliodas was very quiet. Razor made too many mistakes in the later stages. Botlane was overall solid, but I can't decide between one of the two, so I think it's fair to give it to Null, who just had a very high average, good impact game on the Akali.
yeah, I agree.
So,
Let's see what happens next game.
see you in 6 minutes.
want to say it.
I still find this picture of Paulette very, very
Why
funny.
isn't it real money at least?
Yeah.
Did they not get enough real money?
It's so sad. They copied the G2 move and they
G2
don't even
one,
do the real. They don't even enter real money. It's so sad.
like,
This move is sick by Levy.
yeah, that's really good.
Bam.
I like the hype videos, but like, come on, at least get real money.
Please. So, possibly the last game of the day. We had a lot of games already. 4 games already played in VCS Summer 2019. And what have we seen so far? The first Sonateric game just entered VCS, and it was a win. Not the most convincing Sonateric game I've ever seen, especially after this great of a laning phase. Will we see another
I mean,
Sona?
the lane, I think you have to ban it, right?
Yeah.
If you're QA, I think you have to ban it. I don't think you have a good enough bot lane in comparison to. Oh, Ryzo got MVP.
Yeah, the hype MVP. The hype MVP.
I think part of that might be, giving
for sure.
the rookie a point.
It was not warranted in terms of gameplay. I think he had a good play, but the rest of the game was
He had a good game, but
decent.
he didn't have
Decent.
But yeah, I think something I wanted to touch on but didn't get a chance in the last game. I think the Soda Tarek and just the general team comp of Dashing Buffalo sort of shows the benefit of the international play they've gotten.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play a Vietnamese style. They just played a global style, which is better, right? Like it's a more consistent way to play the game. And I think it kind of shows that they're not necessarily only thinking about their region. They might be scrimming and practicing in a way that when they go to Rift Rivals or when they go to potentially Worlds, they'll actually be a threat.
I think that's a very good point. And I think these kind of games are actually very good learning experiences for this team, who's usually very focused on early game and likes to chaos a lot. So being more disciplined with the Sonateric, looking for late game and trying to extend the game, which is usually something they really don't want to do, is a very good learning experience for Dashing Buffalo, in my opinion. Still have to learn a lot for the Sonateric execution, though. That first game was not convincing in the slightest. Still won the game though, so.
Yep, but so far, interesting adaptation. Banning out the Nautilus.
Yeah, not
the
quite
QGB.
sure where this came from. Nautilus didn't have the greatest game it picked last game.
No.
A lot of support focus still happening.
That they want to pick Yuumi.
Oh yeah.
Nautilus is a pretty solid counter pick against Yuumi.
Very good call. Very good call. I'd like to see a Yuumi. Yuumi was banned the last game, and we didn't see Yuumi at all in the first series. No pick, no ban. So I'd like to see Yuumi on this patch in the hands of Dashing Buffalo or QTV. I don't really care that much. I think Palette is probably the better support player, so I'd like to see the
Xayah ban as well. I like that. I like a Xayah ban if you're not going to pick it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure why else
Oh,
Yuumi's banned out. That's a lot of support.
So now they get the opportunity to go for Sejuani, Iridia, or Aatrox, whatever they prefer. And it seems to be Aatrox once again. Razor had the very good game in the first one. Lock it in. So now I expect Irelia. No, I don't think so. And I think Irelia Sejuani is a way better draft right now. Oh, QT, Nivan with one of his favorite champs here. Nivan looked very good on the Gangplank in promotion.
Yep, I think Sejuani's a great pick. Aatrox is good, and Ryzo played well. But I just think Sejuani's better.
Yeah.
I think you could have picked Aatrox. Like if QTV picks Aatrox, pick Irelia, but this could just be another Sona.
Yeah, another run back of Sona. Maybe even they could go Tahm Kench if they actually prefer the Tahm Kench paired up with this Sona here. If they are fine with either Tahm Kench or Tarek, they can delay their support pick for the last rotation and pick up a better solo laner. Nico is banned. There's Ryze still open. We saw a bit of Ryze in the first series. Oh, yeah, it's Tahm Kench.
Tahm Kench it is.
So even better laning than last game. And last game they already won the lane, so what will they do with this one?
Yep, and they're going to salty run back Kalista. You already... That's scary, because Jisoo and Zodiac went even in lane against Sona and Tarek. This time it's Sona and Tahm Kench. That's a much
that being said, Kalista is very good into Tahm Kench. She traditionally has been one of the ADCs who's able to counter the Tahm Kench, especially in lane, because she can wait for his E to abate once again, and then pull through all the rand stacks she has accumulated. So at least that matchup is good. But yeah, we didn't see Jisoo and Zodiac succeed in the last lane. I have to see if they can perform better. No Camille bans so far.
About this Zoe ban.
Yeah.
Is this just Null is a god at Zoe?
Null is good at every lane dominant champ, so Zoe is not the bad ban, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't really think they have any necessary bans anymore. They could pinch Jungle Pool in this position.
Jungle, yeah. Gallia. They're just pinching the support. Like, who's left?
Alistar is a good combination, but it's not great in lane. Alistar, Kalista is a very strong level 6, and Dive set up as well. Braum, Kalista is not great.
It's not great, but it's available.
Oh,
the G2 special.
I think it's the Origin special, right? I think Origin played the Blitzcrank into Sonata. Yeah, I think Origin was the.
G2 did it at MSI, but I might be misremembering. I'll take your word for it.
Maybe.
I know is it's the Rock'em Sock'em robot. Bring it out. I love it. Xin Zhao. Well.
We saw a lot of Xin Zhao reemerge in the LCK. Griffin likes to play Xin Zhao, so another strong early game champion paired up with the Ryze. So we get another look at the Ryze. I'd like to see his level 16 for once.
What? Wait. I forgot that was a champion.
Rightfully so, I think. So this is
Hang on, sorry, we've got a Quinn game. I'm going to get my bird from the other room. I'll just fit in.
What is this? Okay, and he's committing to it. It's Ignite top lane Quinn. Oh yeah.
This is Ignite top lane Quinn.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Nevin. Look how solo queue this game comes in.
It's
this is like Silver 3 with a couple of Spur.
Yeah, it's the solo queue special Blitzcrank down there, paired up with the solo queue special Quinn top lane.
Quinn was picked in the LCK.
Oh, really?
Quinn got picked.
This week.
I didn't see that game.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. There's one or two Quinn specialists in the LCK, but I was not aware that it was actually picked this year already. Okay, so Quinn as a counter pick to Aatrox. Quinn very strong in lane, obviously, and with Ignite will naturally counter the Aatrox's healing. Not the greatest pair with Sejuani though, so more of the 1v1 advantages for Nivan there.
Wait, was it picked? Chat said it was picked, but I'm looking at the stat side. It doesn't have a...
okay.
Apparently
You're trolling us. You're trolling us.
You got me. I went straight to Google.
Oh man.
I was like, I don't know what Quinn does.
A lot of damage in laning phase.
I used to play Quinn because I really like birds.
Yeah, so you're despicable.
Yeah.
Quinn is such a menace in the top lane. One of those top lane champs you immediately want to quit the game if you see it in the enemy team.
Yeah. I mean, I legitimately think we might see a lot more Quinn if Mordekaiser doesn't get nerfed.
So they remade the match after, so not only the pick and ban, but they remade the whole match because of a bug, or did they just remake the pick and ban? Asking X3TR here, because if they just remade the pick and ban phase, it was probably not a real Quinn pick. It was just kind of a misclick or something. But if they actually remade the match, then the Quinn pick was real.
They remade. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. You
Okay.
do your analysis of team comps. I'm gonna do some hardcore sleuthing.
Go on. So we, on the one side, we have the much more standard comp on DBL's new approach to Sonateric. No, it's not Sonateric this time, but it's still a Sonar team comp. This time more of the evolutionary Sonar Tam Kench, better in lane. Maybe even better into a Blitzcrank lane. It's still very scary for them down there. Then we have Null on the scaling mid lane control mage and the Ryze. Much more of the team fighter now than a side laner on the new Ryze on 9.12. As we already see the first gank set up by Meliodas very early. Genza on the wrong side of the river here, but he actually backs off. So nothing happening there. I'm not quite sure how to read the Xin Zhao, as I've not seen enough games of Xin Zhao on this patch. The first gank will be here. Null still sitting on level 1, so no W for him available. Set times for Meliodas there. He's still chasing. What is Meliodas actually doing? Has only killed 1 camp so far, sitting on 4 CS. Desperately looking for his...
I can't find this LCK Quinn. I even checked the Quinn main subreddit. The top post is currently pointing out that you can QSS Maud's ult, so that shows the state of that absolute wreck. Good job, guys. Basic interaction. You figured it out. But coming back into the game, I actually don't think Quinn's a bad pick.
No.
Thinking about it, into Aatrox, purely into Aatrox, just to bully the lane. Got a blind for that passive. It's quite likely that if you go into trade, if you manage to blind, he'll waste that Heartseeker strike.
Yeah, it's obviously a very strong laner, and your win condition is very obvious as well. Get ahead early, push.
Ooh, Null. Uses his flash. Good flash.
Last second there, almost got stunned. Then even the flash wouldn't have helped him. Meliodas is still level 2. Meliodas has only killed his 2 buffs at 330. What?
Yeah, he's looking for kills. Yeah. I like it. I respect it.
A very bloodthirsty, but he's forgetting to kill
to.
Yeah, he's forgetting to play the game actually.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes the bush. Just chilling. He's just gone to his other monitor.
Look at the damage.
You can't win. Genza nearly goes down there. Wow. Not really sure where that damage came in from.
Oh, look at the Quinn. The Quinn is struggling in the 1v1. What is going on there?
Yeah. I'm not sure. It must have just been one good series of Qs from Ryzo. Because I can kind of see, I think it might be, it's supposed to be pretty difficult to dodge. Because...
Yeah, especially if the Quinn moves in aggressively, yeah.
Yeah, the Quinn E probably puts you pretty much in the sweet spot for Aatrox.
Yeah, so far Ryzo had a very good laning phase, going CS for CS against one of the most oppressive top lane ranged champions in Quinn. Ooh.
Oh, but here comes the gank. Flashing in there from Seal. There's the stun. There's the second stun. There's a dead Ryze. First blood by Aurelia. Oh, Big Coro. Bad TP, man. Really bad decision. You're gone, son. Oh, never mind. Gets to his time.
Zodiac is here as well.
Yeah, it will be. Zodiac comes in. Beat, boot, knock up the Tarm. But Genza's going to go down. Ryzo kills Nevin cross-map.
And now Zodiac is in a very bad spot.
Zodiac's in a lot of trouble here. Pallet's going to eat him.
Jisoo.
Oh no, Jisoo's going to die. What is going on? The absolute collapse. QG.
Will it be 2 kills to Sona? No, it's Ryze with the second kill. Oh no, it went horribly wrong. That TP from Vicoro looked like straight int, but he actually got out of there and secured 1 kill for himself. Oh,
What
what
happens
happened in
up
top
here?
lane?
How does this happen?
Ooh,
He just flashes onto
wow,
it, murders
wow. Nicely done.
it. Murders it. Oh no.
And now we're looking at a
2K
very
gold lane
bad state of the game. Oh my god. They have picked Ignite, top lane Quinn, and are behind 2k gold with a
Oh,
solo kill
Steel's gonna
happening.
die to Crux.
Oh no. Oh, QTV, you looked so good in the first game. What have you done?
I liked the. I also thought it was smart. They brought out like this crazy pocket pick. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they've practiced this matchup, and he's getting bodied. What was the Quinn for?
That's a very good question. Look at what?
Look at the
Oh,
damage.
Nivan with a
He's
big
dead.
mistake. Oh my god. This game is over.
That
It's a
was-
victory lap for Rezo.
He
My
popped that ult
God.
purely so he looked cool. He didn't
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, he really didn't need the ult. But a really big mechanical mistake there by Nivan. Not running perpendicularly to the infernal chain thingy, so he didn't get out of there, and then the kill was confirmed.
Yeah, it's just like I assumed when Quinn was picked, I'm like, oh, this must be a counter, right?
Yeah.
Why else would you pick?
I still
But
think it is a
if-
counter, but not in Niven's hands, sadly.
Oh, he's
God!
getting it.
Oh
He's just
no!
getting dove. You're gonna pick a cheesy champ against me?
Oh my god!
Oh, Rizo's angry.
Yeah, and Ryzu gets the best debut ever. He gets to show
Yeah.
off the standard meta champ against someone who wanted to cheese him, and he's absolutely killing it. Quite literally.
Hook onto pallet, but it's a time catch. Does literally nothing. They did get a Drake
Yeah,
though.
they have the Clown Drake. The game is salvaged.
Yeah, Cloud Drake, GG boys.
Oh, Zodiac was in.
And they're going for the dive here. Zodiac taking a lot of damage. Does get away though.
Rezo has arrived. Rezo is here now.
Rizo's here. Rizo's gonna get 4 kills. He goes for it. Oh.
No. He doesn't feel it now. He doesn't have his ult available, so he does not feel the
if he
3
had it,
kills
he didn't have
happening.
his ult.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think with
that's the
ult he
only
would have gone in.
one bit more.
For sure.
Probably. I mean, he's sticking around.
We have to credit this play. It was a very good dive from QTV. They get 2-for-1 trade, killing the bot lane. By the way, look at the item build from Jisoo. Your favorite item build coming through once again this game.
I just don't think it's good early. They don't heal that much.
Yeah,
And there's not even a Taric this time.
yeah, I really don't agree with this item build either. And look at the Sona's build as well. This time Sona goes for early Sheen. What is actually going on in this game? I'm not quite sure.
That's Big Coro going, whoa. This rookie's outshining me? Yeah, no, man.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to get my kills, thanks. This is just, FF15. Move on to the next one, boys. Get me out of here.
Yeah, it's luckily for QTV they are not playing. Oh, no, I don't think they play tomorrow, so they have a time to reset their mental. Oof,
Yeah, I
after
think
this second game, it will be hard though. They got 1v1 checked, mechanic checked, you could
it's
say.
not over yet. It's only 2k, right? You know.
Yeah, against Sona.
There's-
With a top lane Ignite Quinn, it's only 2k.
Look, man,
yeah.
I'm just trying to make it interesting. Give me a break here. Well, hooking the Time Kench again. Great target selection out of Zodiac. That's exactly who you want to hook.
Yeah, he immediately runs away because he's very scared of the Tom Kench. And now CL is here. Oh, and Jensa wants to... Oh, nice ult.
That should be a kill. Never mind, didn't hit Pallet. But Pallet should die here with Genza coming in.
and
He
they
does
secure
die.
one
That's
kill.
good. That's good. So, starting to climb the rungs back into the game. But it's a long ladder.
If they had an actual top
it's on
laner, they could
fire.
have done something here, maybe. Sadly, they're sitting on Quinn, flying around the lanes because she really doesn't want to enter lane against Rezo anymore.
No, it's ridiculous, like how badly he's lost this matchup. Nor Flash is out.
Oh, Nor
Does
gets
even
stunned.
stun
Yeah,
Nor's
he's
gonna go
dead.
down here. Ooh, Crescendo's pretty good though. Gets a lot of damage back, but it's not going to matter. Big Coro running away here, but it should get
Ooh.
killed by this Irelia. That's a double kill.
Buffalo's
Um,
wants... Oh, another solo kill.
Buffalo
Oh, no.
gets another. Yep, Rizo gets another solo kill.
So Buffalo
Ooh,
wants to make it more interesting. Maybe they want to give their rookie in the top lane more time to actually play. Of course, this game looked like a 50-minute surrender.
He's 5-0 against a Quinn.
Yeah, and 5 platings.
He's
5.
5-0 against a Quinn.
Oh my god. Will he actually die? Oh, look at Aurelia.
It doesn't
Aurelia was
lie.
not Aurelia
No
was
way,
not
I'm
interested.
not touching that. I'm not touching that with a 10
And she has 5 kills herself.
Yeah, I'm not going near a 5-kill Aatrox. You couldn't pay me to do it.
This has
Look
been
how
a
many people
very
they've had to
hilarious
rotate up top.
experience.
They've rotated the whole team up top to get this Herald and somehow save Nevin. I wonder whose call the Quinn was. Was it Nevin's call?
Probably. I can't imagine anyone
You'd hope.
else calling that. And sadly for Nevin, he's 3 levels down and 1 level behind his own jungler.
That's not a sentence you should say. Look
No,
at this!
Razor turns
that was
around
far.
to get a bit of damage on the... My god, this champion is interesting once he gets ahead.
God. I mean, is it really the Aatrox? I'm pretty sure you could put almost any champion there. This has not been an impressive performance out of Nevin. Zodiac knocks up Kench again. Another hook on
Oh,
to Kench.
very good stopwatch timing there.
Crescendo only hit Zodiac there. Not very good, and they clean the Kench up.
One more kill for QTV, and it goes over to, I think it was the Seal, right? Yeah. But Razor in the meantime has secured 600 gold for himself, even more gold going in his pockets. He will now work on the second item probably once he goes back. So has secured 5 solo platings and 5 solo kills for himself. Not the greatest look for Nevin on his second game on stage.
No. It is worth mentioning, as much as we are favouring Buffalo to take this game, and as strange as this game is, they are only 1 kill ahead.
Yeah.
And Rizo has 5 kills.
And
it does mean that
the rest of the team is probably actually in favor of QTV right now, if you look at the actual gold contribution. So 4v4 is still in favor of QTV here.
That's the thing, is that if Nevin can get to a point where he can just hold the lane, just do his best Hodor impression and just hold that door closed.
I don't think he will ever get to...
okay. God. He's just trying to straight 1v2 here, by the way.
Yeah,
his
he's
team
actually
was
succeeding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now he has wasted his Q, I think. Yeah, Q is on cooldown.
Yeah, All's going to go down. It doesn't matter. Seal picks that one up, and they've got a Blitzcrank coming. Meliodas is going to go down. He's stunned. The knock up there onto the
Oh
Kench.
no, Big Koro is coming back. Big Koro is coming back.
Yeah, but it's still 3v3 here.
Yeah, now Razor is here. Oh no, Razor is here.
It's 5v3. Oh, hang on a minute. He hasn't got a kill yet. That ult's not extended.
Now he has got
Run away. Get out. Run.
Damn. Oh no.
Poor
Sejuani. Poor Sejuani.
Seal can get away. Can Seal get away?
No,
I don't think
he
so.
can't.
My God.
Have you seen the numbers from the heal? His one auto attack was 389 healing.
Yeah, just absurd. He's 8-0.
Yeah, but this exacerbates the problem DBL actually runs into, because all the gold is on Razor and everyone else is pretty poor. Now he gets even more gold probably from the solo turret gold going down the bot lane. So DBL has to be a bit more careful how they play their 4v4 approach. It's still very unlikely that they lose this game with the Aatrox. It's not like Aatrox scales badly into the late game, but the rest of the team doesn't look too crisp this game.
Yeah, I mean...
Look at Meliodas here.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that I think the rest of QG's actually playing very well.
Yeah, they're looking for a lot of plays, and they're succeeding here.
They're really just getting let down, unfortunately, by this top lane matchup that's just gone so horrifically badly.
Oh,
like, if that was a normal
Razor might go down here.
This is a huge shutdown if he
Oh,
goes down. But look at the
460.
healing!
460. My God. He gets taken down, and the shutdown, unluckily, goes over to the Sejuani, who's now sitting on 318. Very tanky Sejuani. This game has quietly become much more competitive than we anticipated it would be. DBL kind of inting away a lot of their advantages. Look at all these statistics for everyone not named Razor here. 0, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2. Everyone
Exactly.
dying
And like
a lot of
Meliodas is
times.
gonna go. Ooh, Meliodas is gonna go down maybe because the hook onto the Kench. Great crescendo there. Hit like 4 people.
Yeah.
Pallet gets stunned up, but it's not gonna matter. Gets out, but like this is showing that this is on Rizo. You have to solo carry for a while until your Sona's active. At least she only just bought the tier. She just now bought the
Yeah,
tier at 16
I
minutes.
just wanted to point that out as well. This Sonar performance from Bikoro has been very questionable. Going for Sheen for early lane priority, I suppose. Then finishing Lost Chapter into Boots
Oh no.
before
Yeah.
finishing his tier. It's such a weird item prioritization. I'm very sorry. That's a hard
That's a
word.
really nice. Totally off topic. But that's a really pretty Blitzcrank skin.
Oh.
Put that out there.
Is this
I like it.
eye Blitzcrank with the chroma? I think so, right? No? I'm
Think
not
so.
sure. No, it's not. I've seen the skin
Isn't it?
before,
Is it?
but I'm
It's
not sure
Battle
which
Boss,
one.
isn't it?
Battle Boss? Yeah, it could
Battle
be
Boss
Battle Boss.
or
Yeah.
Arcade?
Hey, Nevin
I
has
think so.
just hit level 10, the level that Razor was when he last solo killed him under the turret, which was probably 10 minutes ago or something. So, congrats to
I don't.
Nevin. Oh, now
Yeah.
even hitting level 11, so a lot of rubber banding, XP going over to him.
Look at the gold in the top lane.
Oh, we finally get to see it. It's double. It's straight
Yeah.
up double the
Rizo is
gold.
double.
My God.
My God.
And 2 Executioner's Callings. Actually, 8-3-3 coming through on Genza as well, having a
Yeah.
very quiet but
Genza's having a
strong
great
performance
game.
there. Especially
Yeah,
compared to
Genza's playing
Law.
really well. I don't understand why didn't they put like this Quinn pick caught us completely off guard, but they had an Irelia
Yeah.
to go into the Aatrox.
Yeah, but
Like,
they
why
didn't.
did you pick? Why did you pick this pocket counter that's gone so horribly wrong?
Yeah,
Irelia.
I think Nevin can't play Aurelia.
Oh, hello. Genza's going in on Null. He's going to kill him.
Yeah.
That's the solo kill.
Nicely
Under
done.
tower.
Nicely done.
This is
Ninth
a
kill of the
really
game.
strong Irelia. This game's not over.
Actually, QTV
should
has
be,
brought
but-
this game back. They're still playing 4v5, but they might win the 4v5. Because the 4 on
Yep,
the other
another
side
hook
is very
onto-
weak. Palette straight up goes
Pallet
down.
just gets it blown up. Doesn't even get to pop his E.
And
Now they're
Bikora's
going
dead
in
as
on
well.
Rizo. That's so dangerous to go in on Rizo. They don't get the knockup from the Callista ult.
And Genza is separated.
Zodiac, if he goes down, they can't kill
Ooh.
Rizo, but he doesn't. Rizo's dead. Meliodas is going to go down.
Right,
I
QTV
think-
might actually win this game. They're 1k ahead. The
This
the
is,
gold is much better spread, and Razor is not looking great in team fights. Right now, QTV is making the comeback of the century.
GG, better top win.
Obviously, I think the MVP has to go to Nevin for an immaculate top lane performance, heavily outperforming
Just
the
destroyed
enemy.
his lane.
Yeah, the lane and team fights looking impeccable.
I mean, he actually, like, as much as obviously Nevin's had a bad game, it is worth pointing out he stemmed the bleeding.
Yeah.
He was just getting solo killed.
He actually avoided the
That's
Aatrox after his turret has fallen very, very, very well. So he has not
This was
died
really well played
a
as
sixth time in the 1v1, which, yeah, okay. Sadly enough, we have to say something like that. He actually has only 4 deaths, so only died 4 times to the Aatrox.
This is another catch. Pallet, bit far forward here, but he's backed up by Meliodas and Big
Pallet,
Koro,
what
so
are
it's
you
okay.
doing there? Pallet? What?
Oh, this is a replay. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I thought this was happening live, and I'm like, this is happening again.
So
Jiso as
Razor.
well just played this really well. Like, look at this Callista movement. It's really clean, and he can't get Zodiac, and
Yeah.
that's huge.
And
If
he's
he'd gotten
alone.
Zodiac, that fight goes completely differently.
He's a raid boss, but he can't win the 1v4 because Meliodas really doesn't do anything in these team fights. Pellet was already down, Bikro was chased away from Genza, and even without Genza participating there, still very hard for Razor to come out on top. If he actually got the reset, I might have fancied him to win the 3v or 1v3 or 1v4,
Oh,
but
he's
without the
going to go
reset,
down again here.
nice flash, and he's under turret.
Potentially.
Good
Ooh,
dodge
the
once
Sejuani
again.
ult. Yep, and gets into Pallet's belly, so he's okay.
Yeah, he's still playing on a very high level here. Good flash and good dodge on the Seju ulti. He's now the only hope already for DBL.
At least for a little while. Like, eventually the Sona will come into her own. So QG needs to keep this up,
Yeah.
which they are so far.
They're
sitting around Baron.
Quickly, I want to come back to your point earlier on, which had to be rudely interrupted by another int attempt from DBL. Which is why is the Aurelia not going top? And we saw the same in the last game. I think Nevan just straight up can't play Aurelia. There are few signs pointing that direction because Aurelia was the better matchup in both games so far, and they have not opted into putting Aurelia top lane against the Aatrox. This is really curious.
I feel like if you can't play Aurelia in the current meta,
it's not great. It's really not great.
It's really bad.
Oh no, Riza!
Riza. Oh, Zodiac. I don't know about that one.
That, as you alluded to earlier, the silver Blitzcrank coming through there. Oh my.
GG, no Blitzcrank ban. I dodge.
Yeah. Look at the items from Nevan. He is coming in hot with his one item power spike.
I mean, like, yeah, yeah, he's a whole item behind Rizo, but who isn't at this point?
It's
oh god, look at the TPs. The boys are here. But that's a lot of resources.
Yeah, Rizo's ulti is not doing a whole lot. Now they re-engage on Null.
And this is a counter-engage.
Nicely
Null's
done.
been hooked, he's gone!
Once again, better execution there from QG. And look at Sona's damage. It's not noticeable yet. So Sona still has a long way to go. Still only level 10 as well. Yeah, Baron might go down. Straight up. Meliodas is still there.
Rizo's being. There's only one ward particularly close.
Rizo's TP. Yeah.
Yep.
But he doesn't have ult available.
What's Baron's health at? I can't see that.
3k, 2k, 2-8, I think.
This is a Callista. This goes down.
Oh, it was very close.
That's Baron's good. They just have to get out.
Razor has to now...
Genza's going to buy time. Everyone else gets out.
Ooh, 900 gold shutdown for Sona is big. That is a big thing.
Ooh,
it's still Baron, though. And he misses the Infernal Chain. Yeah, first let me take Raptors.
Yeah. But that's 3 Baron buffs that get out of the pit. 2k gold lead. The shutdown gold going onto Sona is a big deal, but this is a much closer game than it has any right to be.
Absolutely. I think
this is a really good game. If you're in chat, tell your friends, screw the LCK, come watch some Vietnam, because this is a cracker of a game. We've got an absolute barn burner.
We have Quins. I don't think you need any more arguments. We have Quinn top. Doesn't matter that she's 0-4. We have Quinn top. And there's Quinn. Quinn will go for the solo kill, right? No, she will not. She really will not go for the solo kill.
But she is the same level as Null. Like, Null's 1 and 5.
Yeah, that's true. But he at least has some CS under his belt and some items as well. So he's still far stronger.
Yeah.
Sona has finally finished her second item, but at 24 minutes is still working on stacking the tier. So once again, we see the results of the very late tier itemization there from Bikoro, which I really... Oh, now it finally transformed. I still don't understand his choices there. As we get another Clown Dragon for QTV.
Yep.
Sitting on 4 Dragon Sticks. Yeah.
That was a good hook there from Zodiac. He made up for his earlier, missing pings being spammed. And that got them the Baron. It was unfortunate that they couldn't get more of them out. But 2 kills for Baron. That's a pretty good trade. Even with the shutdown goal.
Oh, did something happen in the
Yeah.
live game? I'm not sure. So 2 kills went down,
there
right?
is a fight brewing. There's a fight brewing in the jungle over the blue buff. Pellets
They want to
charging in.
re-engage. Seal
Right
actually flashed away.
Glory. Oh, the
Ooh!
hook! Rizo's going to get blown up here. He goes into the stopwatch. That's really good. But Meliodas is going to go into his Guardian Angel. Rizo's still getting focused. Goes into the belly. Can he get an assist?
Ooh, he gets the
He
shutdown.
can. This is really bad. They need to disengage. Take the 1-for-1. Nevin doesn't count. It's still a 1-for-1.
Yeah, I agree. So first teamfight victory back to... what
no, the Realm Warp. The Realm Warp! But G2's just gone! He's out of here!
Nicely
No,
done.
he's not. He's out of here, but not in the way he'd like to be. Zodiac and Seal, they split up so that one of them might get away. Come on, Blitzcrank, use that little butt rocket.
He will be
Oh
slowed
no,
now.
they're all gonna die. Oh no, they're all dead. It's an ace.
Wow, how did that happen? I did not see the
the Realm
animation from the Realm Warp. Did
I
you
didn't
see?
either.
What?
No, I didn't. They just appeared.
Can I
This game is spooky.
the most disturbing thing about this game, I think, for me personally, is that the clock is only sitting at 26:35. I feel like we've been in this game for hours. So much stuff has happened. So much stuff has happened here, and Nevan is still sitting.
This is game
at
3,
0-5.
right? This is game 3, right? The game, like, there was that game where Nevin, like, fed his head off. That ended at, like, 20 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
and now we're
That
in the
was
next
wild.
game. I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, this is game 3.
Yeah, I hope we get
This
the
is-
replay for the last team fight, because yeah, I want to see when they decided for the Realm Warp chase, and if the enemy was actually able to see this.
Ballsy,
Yeah, very ballsy. So it looks very
Great
good
stop.
for them, but then wow, this ult from Meliodas actually carried the first half of the fight because he knocked everyone away from Rezo, buying enough time for him to get the reset. Then Nevan is just free. I mean, yeah, he doesn't count as you said.
Yeah.
And now
Where's
the
this
Realm
Realm Warp?
Warp.
I want to keep the
There
right.
it is.
There it is. It was just
Oh.
hidden by their models.
Yeah, it's very
G2 does its best to dance away, but
I've never seen a Realm Warp this concealed by minions or whatever concealed it there. Maybe QTV didn't see it either. I'm not quite sure because they seem to be surprised by everyone appearing there right in front of them. And now the gold lead is back in Buffalo's favor.
yeah,
Game
this is
Game has gotten much closer, and Buffalo are still looking at 4 Drakes on the other side. Sadly for QTV, they still need to delay this next Dragon for a bit, so that the 35-minute mark eventually gives them another win condition in the Elder Dragon. It's still far away. And we're almost at level 16 for Rise. The one power spike I really want to witness. Level 16 Rise with 100% extra damage on his Q.
Yeah, that's getting scary. At some point, Nevin gets back in this game, right? Like, eventually we get to the point where he farms up, surely.
I mean,
he's level 15 now, but I'm not sure
he
how
has
much
2
that matters.
items. He still has no damage at all, even looking at his 2 items. Sadly for Quinn, from behind she's really not a champion. Even if she farms for, I don't know, 30 minutes straight, her gimmick is to win the 1-1 and push down turrets. As long as she can't do that, what is the point of having a Quinn?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question for QG to ask
Another grab
themselves.
on Palat.
He get just gone.
Look at the damage on Nevan. Nevan almost
good
down.
soda roll back in the league. Otis going in with Rizo. They're all just having to run because he's going to get a reset off Nevin.
Oh god, Nevin. What was Nevin doing there? Oh my god, I am dying here. Please highlight Nevin's play in this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I don't know if anyone else caught
Nicely
Nevin's play there, but he annoyed a big purple worm and died for nothing.
No.
And
Even better. He went into Baron Pit, channeled his ult, realized that his ult would not help him at all, flashed over the wall and aggroed the Baron in the process and died to Baron over the wall after flashing and ulting out of there.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Impeccable gameplay.
Top level player.
Yeah.
Just want to point out, chat with the excellent analysis can never be given MVP for Buffalo.
Certainly, I don't think so. It's kind of a robbery
That would
if
be
we don't give it to Razor as well for this early game. But, yeah.
That'd be a little bit mean. But,
I want
it
you to
started out
focus
so
on
well.
Nevin,
Talent
because
dies. Yeah, watch
Nevin has
Nevin
the
here.
200 IQ plays here. Look at this.
So he gets into his bird
Immediate
form. Realizes
God. My God. I want this to appear on the Panther. Please make it happen. I want this to appear on the
we
Panther.
need to go into the stream and clip that.
Yeah, for sure. That's the greatest play I've ever seen. Peak
The
level,
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
peak level League of Legends right there. My God.
This man makes a living playing this game.
To be fair, he's living in Vietnam, so it's not that much money he makes.
I don't know, he's still doing what he loves. They do go in here, getting a lot of damage down, but look at all the GAs. And now, no, Zodiac, don't hook the Aatrox!
Oh my God.
No!
Razor is still alive. Oh, he finally goes down. And there's Genzer trying to somehow salvage the game, but it's finally over. Triple kill for Null. In the end, he got to shine on the level 16, level 17 rise, so at least something. Let's see a bit of his crits. Wow, 681 crit on the Aftershock Sejuani, kind of attesting
That's
why
pretty
this
ridiculous.
late game rise is insane on this patch. Finally, the game is over. It felt like, I don't know, 3-4 hours, but it was a lot of fun.
I've aged 40 years.
Well, it was absolutely worth it. I think we called the game over at 5 minutes, and rightfully so. I don't think you can fault us for that. And it took to 32 minutes until the game was over. In the end, a 2-0 for the favorites. But not looking
What
too
a
crisp
theory.
right there.
Oh my God. Someone help Nevin. Poor guy.
I really hope for Nevin
don't-
that he doesn't have to go into the team discussion for this game. Just let him have a free day or anything. Just please.
Please report. Oh no.
In the end, better top
was-
lane doesn't always win. A top lane, not a lot of game impact anyway. So sadly for Nevin, the better top laner was not able to carry through.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just a shame, really. That said, it was actually a pretty good showing from QB. They lost both games, obviously, but
First game especially was very good. I think second game was more Buffalo actually not giving any fiddlesticks.
It was a happy game. Very happy.
Very happy game. I think they wanted to channel their inner G2 and actually noticed after 15 minutes that they are not as good as G2. And yeah, then the game was already out of control for quite a bit of time. But then in the end, Nevin making the impossible happen, dying to Baron. And winning 4v5 on professional level is not as easy as it looked like for some time there.
Death to Baron was the best part. Why did he ult? He could have just flashed.
He could have
and he would
flashed
have
out of
been
there.
fine.
He could have flashed out of there. But
He flashed anyway.
It was so great. He stood still for a few seconds, activating his ult, and then immediately deactivating it again. It was such a great place. Oh my God. Yeah, we definitely. I think that's the highlight play of our first day of VCS summer.
Yeah.
So the last game really delivered here. 5 games for the first day. Right now we're seeing an interview with Rezo. I think Rezo impressed us both, right? Both games were really good
he had
indeed.
a fantastic series.
And he for sure is the MVP for game 2.
Oh, no question. Absolutely. He was a raid boss. He was probably raging in the team chat like, guys, can you stop inting so I can have a good game when I'm 10-1, whatever he was.
If QTV actually pulled out the victory here, I think you still would have given the MVP to Rezo after that laning performance.
Yeah.
Or to Neven, to be honest. I think,
Yeah.
yeah. As Chat rightfully pointed out, this game really was uneven. I want to see more Quinn, but maybe not as much Int Quinn. I think normal Quinn would be a very nice treat to watch as well. Maybe
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
get to see Leven on a
I
good
love
Quinn.
when people pull out like weird pocket picks and stuff
Yeah.
and like really catch people off guard. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens, and you remember why people don't pick Quinn.
Yeah, I think the reason most of the time is that she actually doesn't do anything after laning phase. This time it was the opposite.
Yep.
She did a lot in laning phase,
Yeah, she
which
did.
was
She really
not
got Buffalo
great.
ahead, which is good.
Yeah. Doing exactly what she was picked for, getting her team a huge lead in the early game. 5 solo kills in her lane as well.
Yep, I mean, nothing that you're saying is incorrect. There were 5 solo kills in Quinn's lane.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry, 4. She only died 4 times
Oh,
to
true,
Aatrox.
4. Let's not
Yeah.
give Nevin too much. Anyway, I don't know how much there is to analyze about that game. I don't think that's what Buffalo. I think Buffalo's coach will be cracking the whip a little bit. Think, what the hell was
I
that?
hope so. I really hope so.
What did you just do? Because if you do that at an international tournament, you lose. But
Yeah, and not
still,
the
what
greatest
absolute
Sonar
crazy.
showing, especially not in the game 2. That
No.
Sonar itemization coming out of not Norway, I'm sorry, Big Coro was something else. I think the most delayed tier completion we have ever seen on the Sonar, hitting her transformation into Archangels, if I recall correctly, at 28 minutes or something like that. No surprise there,
So,
official MVP.
20, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So absolutely MVP. Any other choice would be a travesty. Uh, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think that was a good first day of VCS. We got a few games that were showed a new global style, and we got a great VCS game.
for sure. For tomorrow's games will be. I have to Google. I'm sorry, I um, did not remember which games were played tomorrow.
The
Maybe chat.
Gigabyte
Yeah,
Marines
Gigabyte
is winning
Marines
though.
is playing more tomorrow, but I'm not. I don't
That's
remember
fine.
against whom. We definitely see the new roster from formerly Forever Friends Forever. Sadly, they dropped the best name in all of League of Legends, Friends Forever, and are now called Team Flash. And
I'm sorry. Do you not remember Unicorns of Love?
Unicorns of Love is a very good name as well. I have to give that over to you for sure. So we see Flash against Cerberus. As I said before, Flash is the a new name of formerly friends. No, Loki. I'm confusing things. So Flash is the new name of Team Sky. Sky Gaming rebranded to Flash. So we see a lot of the old Sky Gaming roster, with the addition of Yijin coming over from EVOS. So we will see Artemis and Slater back for Team Flash this time, and they will play in the first series tomorrow against Cerberus Esports, followed by Gigabyte Marines finally making their appearance tomorrow in the later best of 3 against Loki Esports, which is the rebranded Friends Forever. So 2 maybe more evenly matched games tomorrow, maybe not quite as heavily favored in one direction as today.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I'm really hyped. I think everyone who follows VCS is really hyped to see the first appearance of new look Gigabyte Marines. How will Levy come back to his home region, you could say, after long time abroad, first going over to LPL, then to I think first to NA and then to LPL.
Yes, I think that's
So
right.
it's finally back
Yeah,
in
good.
Vietnam.
Good. I can't wait for it. I'm excited.
So thank you all for joining us today. It was a very enjoyable stream, I think. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day and see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.